Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to this early morning, middle of the night bonus upload. Before we jump into it, a couple quick links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads that I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment and share the video. Why? Well, because all of these things really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely matter, and they are appreciated. And with that, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to this early morning, middle of the night bonus upload, shall we? All right, guys, tonight I have DJ and DJ's friend Robert. Robert is the son-in-law of the gentleman who had the experience with what we think a juvenile dogman. DJ, Robert, how are you guys?
Pretty good. How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
I'm doing well. Thanks for both of you taking some time out of your evening to spend with us and kind of clear the air on what happened. So Robert, I'm going to turn the floor over to you and kind of ask a couple questions. What happened that day? I guess you were in the barn with your father-in-law. What really happened that night?
Well, that night, me and my father-in-law, he owns a big farm.
Okay.
And he is a elderly man, and he has no way of really loading hay, but
Okay.
he's got one of those sickles that you stick in through the hay.
Yep.
And bring it up. Well, we there was 4 of them in a row. And he said if we can get these 4 in, he said that'll be great for what I need for the next week. And I said, well, sure,
Right.
because he's helped me, and I'm married to his wife, and they built us a house, and
Right.
they've just been, super duper to us. So it's the least I could do for him. So we got on there. Well, he got on the tractor, and I was kind of backing him up, a little bit, come on back, a little, forward. Well, when he went forward, I heard a noise, like I don't know how to describe it to you.
Okay.
It's like a scream, maybe, but it wasn't like a human scream.
All right. Something you've never heard before. I mean, you're from down south, like the Virginia, West Virginia area, and I'm sure you're a hunter, so you've heard, noises out in the woods, just something that you haven't really heard before.
Yeah, nothing that I have ever heard.
Okay. All right.
Nothing that I've heard. So, but he couldn't hear it
Okay.
because, a tractor is pretty loud.
Right. He's older and he's on the tractor, so he's above what's going on.
Right, he didn't really know what was going on. Well, at first I thought I was hearing things, because it was almost dark.
Okay.
It was a little bit past dusk. And then it started getting louder. And then I knew there was something going on. I knew that there was, I was hoping and praying that it wasn't, a human.
Right, like a kid or something or whatever.
Yeah, like a kid or something like that.
Yeah.
So then I told my father-in-law, how you wave your hands in front of somebody to stop.
Yeah.
I told him to, stop. He said, "What in the world's going on?" I said, "There's something in." I said, "There's something in here." He said, "What do you mean there's something in there?" I said, "I heard it once. And then I heard it again. And the second time I knew it wasn't just me."
Right.
So he jumped down and, of course, we're both lawful gun carrying, we both have our gun permits.
Right.
And we always carry them when we're out on the farm because you never know what you're going to run into.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't know if you'll run into a bear or whatever. And so we got to looking, and he told me to kind of stay back a little bit. Well, he already had his gun pulled. And I wasn't going to pull mine because I didn't want me to actually shoot him.
Right.
So I figured, well, he's got a 45. If he can't get it done with a 45, well, then we're both gone.
Yeah.
And after he got to digging a little bit through the hay, it was one of those big rolls of hay.
Yeah.
I would say he told me they go between 300 and 400 pounds. That's what he told me.
Okay.
And this guy has been a farmer. Let's see, I've been married to her. He's probably been a farmer 30 years.
Okay.
Every day of his life. He doesn't know nothing else. That's
Right.
all he knows is
He
farming.
just lives and breathes farm work. Yeah, I've got family up here that, know nothing but farming. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he got to checking and got to looking. And I really couldn't tell because he wanted me to kind of stand back.
Right.
But the feet was kind of like on a it wasn't anything I'd ever seen before.
Okay. So when he was digging out, you were kind of behind him or on the side of the other on that side of the hay bale?
Yeah, I was kind of he was directly in front of me. Okay. I was kind of on the right side of him.
Okay.
but I was back about 3 or 4 feet.
All right.
Not very far at all, because I knew if something was to happen, I wasn't going to let, something happen to him and me not, jump in there and help him.
Right. I mean, he's your
I
father-in-law.
wasn't going to let that happen.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, when he was the one that saw it first. Could you tell by what his face looked like? What was his expression before you even realized what the heck was going on?
His demeanor totally changed.
Okay.
Totally changed. His exact words were, "I don't know what the fuck this is."
Right.
That was his exact words. And so come to find out, it was probably about 4 or 5 feet tall.
Okay.
But what got me about it was that the teeth were like razor blades that were inverted, like backwards.
Yeah, like a snake kind of mouth.
Yeah.
Now it's still alive in front of you at this point, correct?
No, I don't know if it was alive or not, because where he had stuck it, see that thing, that sickle.
Yeah.
It had been stuck by that sickle.
Yeah, it's like a big pole that's on the back of a tractor that sticks in, and the hydraulics from the tractor pick it up. Yeah, I know exactly what they are.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really long, because he has to pick up 400 pounds.
Yeah, they're about 10 feet, 15 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And even when he is doing that, he has to get a good run. He don't just drive up to it.
No, you got to back right into the son of a gun.
Some momentum going.
Yeah.
To stick in that hay bale, and then he has to hit the hydraulic to make it come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do completely.
So that way he can, maneuver it.
All right.
And I said, well, what are you going to do?
Now, what are you thinking? What are you thinking this thing is at the time when you first see it? What are your thoughts in your head?
So I was scared to death.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I had heard of this. Was it a Dogman?
Yeah.
I had heard about it. I don't know if you ever listened to Howard Stern.
Yeah.
There's a guy on there named Sean the Stutterer.
Yep.
And he is totally obsessed with it. And that's where I got to,
Right, hear about it.
Kind of learn about it and stuff like that. And, all that stuff, what I thought, it's mostly made up. It's, it's comedy, it's to get you to listen and, all that stuff.
Yeah. Until it's right in your face, hanging on the back of your tractor.
In your face, and then you're like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. Now, what else? Can you kind of give us a brief description of what this thing looked like hanging there? Like you already told us about the teeth and about 4 or 5 feet. So it was pretty small. It wasn't very big because usually...
Well, about 4 or 5 feet long.
Okay. Well, how about the hair color?
Well, the the thing was is that we didn't have real good light.
Okay.
Because we wasn't expecting to be out there long.
Right. Yeah.
And his tractor lights, see, he doesn't have a end. His tractor is not got a cab.
Okay, so there's no lights in the back or anything like that.
Right, there's no right. So all we had was cell phone lights.
Okay.
And it looked to me like I want to say a darkish brown, maybe black color.
All right.
Somewhere in that area. I could be wrong because, then again, I was so flipped out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was scared to death.
Yeah,
and
why wouldn't
he told
you be?
Me, he said, I think the best thing for me and you to do is to not ever speak of this again.
Okay.
And I said, you're probably right. I said, well, don't you think we need to, call the game warden, or, wildlife people or, something like that.
Someone with authority, yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to go against him,
Right.
because I didn't want no problems with him, and then have problems with my wife, you know what I mean?
Right, inner family issues.
Her asking, well, why did you and my dad get into it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want any inner family
happy
issues.
wife, happy life.
Right.
So, we came out there on on one of those razors.
Yep.
I don't know if you know what that is. You know what a razor is.
Yes, sir. Yep.
We came out there on a razor. And he said, tell you what, he said, why don't you take the razor and go back to the house. And he said, I'm gonna do some more work out here. And I said, are you sure that's a good idea? You being out here by yourself.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure that whatever that was dead. I'm almost sure it was.
Okay.
Because he poked it, prodded it, and everything. I just don't think it was alive.
Right.
And so, me, I'm scared to death. I was more than happy to get on the razor and get tail out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't care.
You're like, screw this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, screw this. Let somebody else handle this mess.
Yep.
I'm out. I don't want to be caught up in no kind of conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? If it,
Yeah, yeah. It's one thing to hear the stories, but when you're face to face with it, it's a completely different subject then.
Yeah, because I had seen on the Howard Stern show, that guy, they call him Sean the Stutterer.
Yep.
He had sent in some video of a man dog.
Yep.
That they had that he claimed was running, and that they had caught on video running, and like he was on his hind legs. So when I looked at the feet, that very well could have been the same feet.
Okay. They didn't look like dog feet, or how'd they look?
Excuse me now?
Did they look like a dog's foot, or did they look different?
Yeah. I guess they kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I guess they kind of did in a way.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, but I mean, it's nothing like that I had seen.
You're right. Right.
I mean, you could tell that it could move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not no slowpoke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I've seen one in real life when I was younger, and I know what they look very strange, but you can tell they're strong and they can run.
Yeah, because the one that they showed on Howard Stern, this one here this one here was moving.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it was moving like a cheetah.
Right. It can move at a good
like
clip.
that, but I mean, it wasn't no. I mean, it was, it was going.
Definitely outrun a human.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could outrun a human, no problem.
All right. Yep.
So then the next day, we had to go up there for something, and he was back there on the back porch, and I said, hey, I got him off to the side there. I said, what did you do with that? He said, I took it up behind the barn. I shot it twice between the eyes with a 45, and I took my backhoe and I buried it 8 feet in the ground.
Okay.
He said, and I dumped, he said, I put lye on it, and then I dumped 4 bags of concrete on it, and the rest I filled with dirt. Flying through his teeth, wasn't it? So, now that's what he said.
Right. Right.
So, now, can I say that for sure? No. But, I've known the man for over 10 years, and the man's never lied to me yet.
Okay.
So.
Huh. Yeah. So this thing's it's gone now. It's underground, buried.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because he's not, I don't want to say he's anti-government.
Yeah.
But he, of course, he's a Trump supporter.
Okay.
But he's one of these people that thinks that the government has got too much control over us.
Yeah.
And that they know too much.
Well, I'd agree with him there.
Yeah. And he told me, he said, if I was to have, called somebody and told them what we found, this place would be covered up.
Yeah, he was afraid to lose his farm.
And everything else known to man out here.
Right.
And he said that's just something that, I didn't want to put you through. I didn't want to put my daughter through. His wife is very ill,
Yeah.
And I kind of see his point.
Yeah. I mean, it's his livelihood. It's his farm. Why? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and and he says, how do I know they wouldn't confiscate my farm?
Right.
I mean, this man's farm has been in his family he's got I think it's 300 acres.
Okay.
That has been in his family since the 20s.
Yeah, it's his
I mean, he's
livelihood.
not
Yeah.
going to give that up.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's going to, hang on to that. And see, they only have the one daughter. That's it.
Right.
They don't have no other siblings besides her, and she don't want it. You know what I mean?
Right.
She could really care less, but
So let's get back to a couple questions, if you don't mind. When you now, how do you feel about going out in the woods or out near the farm now?
scared as hell.
Right.
Scared as hell.
Now, were you a hunter prior to this?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not I'm not a hunter. I just I got deer that come around my yard.
Right. But you're not
cemetery. I could kill 4 or 5 deer standing off my front porch.
right. But I was just asking because you're not going out in the woods anytime soon. Now that you know that there's stuff like this.
No, I'm not scared to go out in the woods. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't live in fear. You know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't like that. But to go over there, oh no.
Okay.
No, I would go over there to help him.
Right.
If he said, hey, I need some help at the farm. Can you come over there and help me? I would. I'd say like what's going to be in the daytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to do it at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's something else too. That's why I didn't want to really use my real name.
Right.
It's because he swore me to secrecy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now,
because he was so afraid that,
to lose his farm. That's his world. I understand completely.
That's his livelihood.
Yeah. I've got.
He does very, very well.
Right.
He's got 2 tractors that I guarantee you are worth $100,000 each.
Right. Yeah. So how's he feeling about all this now? Is he just kind of moved on, like it didn't happen?
I haven't talked to him.
Okay.
A whole lot about it. I just know that when I talked to him that one day, and I asked him what he done with it, and he told me what he done, I kind of got that impression that, he kind of wants to be done with it.
Right. Yeah, just
because of the. Now, if he was just out in the woods somewhere, hunting somewhere, and that happened, that would be different. But being on his land, he'd be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever told you that was full of crap.
Right, absolutely.
He's just too afraid of, like his great grandfather was the one who started that.
Absolutely. Well, I understand where he's coming from because
yeah,
I have my great uncle who's passed away now. His farm is, it's now long gone, but if he could see what has become of it now, he would be flipping in his grave because, old timer, that's their livelihood. They put a lot of stock and pride into that. So yeah, I understand where he's coming from. I really do.
Yeah. And I think that's what's going to happen when his daughter gets a hold of it. I love her and everything, but I hope she does what he wants. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, she hasn't said, he told her that once he's gone, he really doesn't care.
Right.
What happens to it,
Yep.
which I think what she'll do is she'll sell it.
Really appreciate you taking some time out of your evening to come on and talk with us about this. I mean, it's when DJ gave me a call and said, hey, I got, a buddy of mine that something really crazy happened to. I was pretty excited. I know you don't feel good this evening, so I appreciate you taking time out of your evening to at least share.
No problem at all.
To share this with us. So, I once again thank you so much, and I'm going to end the interview, but I want to thank you again, and talk to you a few minutes after I end the interview. All right. So, Robert,
okay.
Have a good evening. All right.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
And there you have it, folks. I do hope you all enjoyed this early morning, middle of the night bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'd really like to thank you all for supporting the channel. It is, after all, your support that helps the channel to continue to grow and go, and what gives us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect that we deserve. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and friends. These creatures are real. These events have happened. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless you all.